When a woman stops calling you her husband and starts calling you her partner, she's already rewritten the story of your marriage. It sounds small, but language reveals mindset. Partner isn't about equality, it's about neutrality. It's the linguistic downgrade from commitment to cooperation. And most men don't realize it until it's too late. So today, let's talk about what really happens when that word enters the conversation and why it's a symptom of a dying relationship. Hi, my name is Paul Bauer, and if you are new to the channel, I help men level up and get better with women. And the funny thing about doing that is it tends to make us better men in all areas of our lives. The words we use don't just describe reality, it shapes it. Language is a reflection of our paradigm, our internal lens of how we see ourselves and the world around us. When someone changes a word, it's not random. It means the paradigm behind the word has shifted. Husband and wife carry polarity. They define masculine and feminine roles, structure and nurture, leadership and trust. Partner erases polarity. It implies sameness, and sameness kills attraction. So when a woman swaps husband for partner, what she's really doing is reprogramming the story, removing leadership, removing polarity, and removing sexual tension. The paradigm changes from union to partnership. And partnerships sound great for business, but not for romantic relationships. Modern culture teaches us that equality means identical roles. But equality in value doesn't mean sameness in function. Masculine and feminine energy thrives in polarity. One leads, the other responds. When both try to lead, attraction dies. When both try to follow, chaos sets in. Partner sounds progressive, but it neutralizes the masculine-feminine dynamic that keeps marriage and attraction alive. It signals a new paradigm, one where leadership is seen as control and submission is seen as weakness. The moment those instincts get demonized, the relationship loses its sexual charge. You can't partner your way into passion. You polarize your way there. And a lot of men don't notice this shift because they've already been betatized. Over time, they stop leading, start compromising too much, and they lose their masculine edge. The moment you start seeking her approval instead of her respect, the dynamic flips. She subconsciously loses the lens that you're her lover and starts to see you as her peer. Partner becomes a reflection of that, a subconscious way of her saying, "You're no longer leading me. You're standing beside me." And once that paradigm sets in, attraction plummets. It's not about the word itself. It's about what the word reveals. Paradigm drift is subtle. It happens one compromise at a time. First, you stop setting boundaries. Then you start negotiating instead of being decisive. Then she starts managing you emotionally, logically, sometimes even sexually. Over time, the polarity reverses. She becomes the captain. You become the partner, and you tell yourself it's teamwork. But deep down, she's no longer looking up to you. She's looking across at you. And no woman dreams about the man she looks across at. She dreams about the man she can look up to. That's the difference between husband and partner. Society has programmed us to believe that gender equality equals fairness. But romantic relationships don't operate on political ideals. They operate on instinct and polarity. The reason why partner feels sterile is because it strips the relationship of its identity. It's a product of a culture that's uncomfortable with leadership, uncomfortable with masculine presence, uncomfortable with differences. The push to erase those differences has created a generation of relationships that feel safe, but not sexy. And safety without attraction becomes boredom. Partner sounds mature, but it's often the beginning of emotional detachment. When a woman calls you her partner, she's subconsciously saying, "You're not the man who leads this relationship anymore." She's neutralizing you emotionally, sexually, energetically. The title husband implies commitment. It implies trust. It implies leadership. Partner implies shared management. That's why it feels off. Because marriage isn't a project. It's polarity in motion. And polarity requires roles, even if modern culture hates to admit it. Men often earn the downgrade from husband to partner. It happens when they abandon masculine frame. When they start asking instead of deciding. When they overshare emotions instead of mastering them. When they let resentment build instead of calmly leading through tension. Every time you defer, seek approval, or lose your sense of purpose, you signal weakness. And women, consciously or not, stop viewing you as their rock. That's when the title quickly changes. From my husband to my partner. It's not rebellion, it's reflection. She's describing what she feels. And you can't fix this by correcting her words. You fix it by correcting your presence. And attraction doesn't return through conversation. It returns through behavior. Start by reclaiming your frame. Stop reacting. Start being more decisive. Get back into your body. Lift, train, move. Set boundaries with calm certainty. Speak less, act more. When you start embodying strength again, she'll stop calling you partner and start feeling her husband again, because the title follows energy. You must operate from a paradigm of leadership, not equality of roles. Equality of worth? Sure, but distinction of energy. You must see yourself as the masculine center of gravity in the relationship. The more you embody calm leadership, the more she'll feel safe enough to relax into her femininity. That's when respect, desire, and trust return. But if you keep chasing partnership, you'll keep killing polarity. You'll both end up in a roommate marriage, polite, equal, passionless. Leadership's not just dominance, it's direction. The masculine gives structure. The feminine gives life within it. When both know their roles, husband and wife mean something again. So the next time you hear partner, don't just shrug it off. Listen to what it's really saying. It's telling you that polarity is dying. It's telling you that your masculine frame has softened. And it's giving you a chance to decide whether you're going to reclaim it or let the relationship fade into neutrality. Because when polarity dies, attraction dies. And when attraction dies, your marriage becomes a friendship with paperwork. Don't let that happen to you. If this hit home, like, subscribe, hit those notifications. And don't miss tomorrow's live stream at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, where we'll talk about why you must believe that you're the prize. Because if you don't, she never will. Thanks for watching. She used to watch you, hang on your words, crave your presence. Now, she barely notices when you enter the room. And if she does, it's with eyes full of boredom. You've tried being softer. You've tried being sweeter. You've tried everything they said would work. And still, nothing. The truth no one wants to say out loud, she doesn't miss you because there's nothing to miss. But what if you can make her feel the fear of losing you without saying a word? This isn't manipulation. It's psychological contrast. It's healthy anxiety. It's passive dread. Rebuild tension, reignite her curiosity, make her jealous of the life you're living without her at the center. You don't chase desire. You become the man it fears losing. Visit dread.fixdeadbedrooms.com now and take the course. Don't wait for her to act different. Take action for yourself.